So we heard about your favorite vintage item you ever found. What's your favorite craft that you've ever made to sell?
Um, to sell, well, I love making the jewelry. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative. My husband gets involved with me making it because I can draw something, but he's the one who gets it onto the computer for me. He went to school for that. He's been doing it for years. What would take me like 2 days to figure out, he can like whip it out in 2 minutes. Um, so I like that we can work on that together. And I'm working on new things all the time.
Interesting.
Um, Trolls are fun, kitschy. They get a big reaction out of people at markets, so those are fun. But I think that the favorite things that I've done have been for myself.
Mhm.
Like well, I have it right here. My grandma's, you see it? My grandma's bread box. It was kind of rusty and faded, and it had a decal on it of Little Bo Peep, I think,
Hmm.
but it was half gone. It took me a while to figure out what it was supposed to be, and so I repainted it, and the inside is bright, and now I can store things in it on my desk and like hide away all the junk.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I like doing that kind of stuff, restoring something that was pretty much almost lost, like junk,
Yeah,
and bringing it back to life.
I love
Um,
that. That's
yeah.
awesome. So you said you do markets. Like what kind of markets have you been doing?
I've done vintage markets, like vintage flea markets. That's always fun. Last year I did a farmer's market slash craft market, which was fun too. I could sneak a few vintage things onto my table, like maybe a lady had vase and put an air plant in it, um, to kind of sneak it in, make it qualify. But the just getting really creative again, that was a lot of fun, and seeing what people like, what they'll buy. Trolls sold like
I'm sure.
um, and the and the Christmas market. I dyed the rainbow trees and I sold trolls and jewelry. So that was very fun. Yeah, I would love to do that again this year, but we'll have to wait a few months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely see. That's so cool though. I've tried to do a few markets myself, just with vintage stuff, and I have not had good luck with it. I
Uh,
feel like when people come out to those vintage markets, there's just so many options that
yeah,
it's hard to
and
compete.
they think they're gonna get a really like a good deal,
Yeah.
garage prices.
Yes, yes. And sometimes they treat it, even though, like, you set it up all nice, you still kind of feel like they're treating it like a flea market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lady, I kind of joked to her about a Fire King dish, and I said, "Oh, if it doesn't sell, I wouldn't mind just keeping it for myself." She said, "Well, at that price, you're going to." And I was like, "Oh." And
Thanks.
then like 20 minutes later, a collector came along and bought it and was so excited for it. So I was like, "So there, huh?"
Right? Take that.
So yeah, there's two different kinds of shoppers at those markets.
Yes, absolutely. I when I've done events, I tried three different kinds of events because I was like, if I'm gonna say I don't want to do it anymore, I've got to like do enough. And just everyone was different, and like I made my money back for what I paid to get into it, but then like it was so much effort to take all those breakables out.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of effort. You have to really love it. And sometimes you'll make money and sometimes you won't. But
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So do you do this full time or do you have a job outside of it?
well, my full-time job, my 24-hour job is stay-at-home mom. Um, but this is I'm investing a lot of time in it. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. Every little increment of my day that I can get to myself, I use my business. And I like to do it like during nap time, and at nighttime after the kids are asleep. Um, half the time I'll spend the evening with my husband and watching a movie or whatever, and the other half he plays games on the computer and I work on my business stuff. So it's kind of a give and take. But yeah, in every little increment that I can, I definitely work on my business.
Very cool. Do you have any big goals for your business? Short term,
Yeah,
long term?
yeah. Well, return to markets. That would be
Yeah.
that would be really nice. Hopefully, late fall or Christmas. And then, yeah, just keep growing it. Maybe when all 3 kids are in school, it'll become more of a full-time thing. That would be awesome. I don't know that I'll ever have a location. I'd really like to grow the online presence.
Mhm.
So,
I
yeah.
I agree. I feel the same way. When I first started, I really wanted a location, but I just I don't feel like it is worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And time-wise too.
Yes. The commitment of it
Right.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So we've talked about a lot of different things. Do you have any like of your best tips for other sellers?
Um, do spread out your focus. Like on Instagram, you can pod and like help out other sellers, and that's very beneficial. You can just go through your feed and kind of like and comment on other seller stuff, um, which it's all about the engagement on Instagram. You can do shop shares. You can do story shares. But for me, especially, I can't get it all done in one day. So I do what I can every day. And at the end of the night, I have to be happy with what I got done. And I make a little mental list of what to get done tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I would say don't make yourself go crazy with it, but take the little bits of time that you have to grow your business. Yeah.
Absolutely. I could not agree more with that. I've heard several people say that like being, committing to doing all this teamwork can be overwhelming, but
It can
everyone
be.
that's, on the SSVS team or whatever is, we all have lives. So we all
Right.
understand, like, if you can't get to it today, you'll get to it. So,
It'll get
because it,
done
it
tomorrow.
can be overwhelming. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think
And
about that a
that's the thing. It has to be real, true engagement too. When you find an account you like, comment on their stuff, and then they'll be back looking at your things too. That's what I really love about Instagram versus Etsy or Mercury. I don't really sell on eBay, but the engagement, the actual social interaction with people, I feel like I'm friends, like with
Yeah.
people like you that I see over and over again online. This is the first time you and I have ever talked face to face, but I feel like I know you because
Right.
I've been engaging with your business for the last 3 years. So
Right.
that's what I love about Instagram and markets too, that interaction with people.
Yeah, I love it too. And like that's what I was saying is like you gotta be real. 'Cause-
Yes.
and I think that really comes through on Instagram and I love that so much.
Yeah, yeah. Showing a little bit of your personality helps too. And I have trouble with that because I'm a little bit shy. So I'm not a big selfie person usually. But I do try to put up the occasional selfie, engage with my customers and audience. Yeah.
Yeah, I find it really useful to like I haven't been doing it as much, but like once every couple months I would do an introduction post, for
Yeah.
like get new followers and stuff, and it's good to put your face out there for your company. And I think so long as you kind of do that, sometimes, it keeps you familiar to people.
Yep. Yeah. They like to know who you are. They like to know the story,
Yes,
which is what this is great about.
yes, exactly. Very cool. So, do you have any? So, we talked about tips for selling. What's your favorite tips for crafting?
Again, take the little increments of time that you have and don't stress about getting it all done. And always have another idea in your head because your first idea might not be as popular as you think it's going to be. Like I said, I started off with TV trays and haven't sold that many of them. I think it's a great idea, but something that I'm doing doesn't speak well with other people. Um, but the jewelry has been very popular.
Mhm.
And it's fun for me too because I can keep coming up with new ideas. So it's always thinking of the next thing. If one thing doesn't work, don't get discouraged. It's not you that people don't like, they just don't like that particular idea of yours. um, and move on and find the next cool idea.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Your jewelry is absolutely genius because
Oh, thank
it's the people that just love vintage stuff, but like it's not you're not wearing vintage jewelry, you're wearing jewelry that it's almost like for your
yeah,
sports team. You
yeah,
know? It's for your what vintage team
yeah,
are you on? Are you on Team Pyrex or are you know?
yeah, yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah,
I love that because it really
yeah,
does give a new avenue of accessorizing for people who like
yeah.
vintage.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
I
And they're
love
lightweight, easy to wear too.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they're not clip-ons.
Right. I was thinking about that. They're not great grandma's clip-on earrings.
The world
Yeah.
too many clip-ons.
Yeah.
All right. So I that's all I had for you today. Do you have anything else you'd like to tell us?
Um, no, I've really enjoyed talking with you.
I'm
Um,
with
I
you.
love your interview series, so thank you for including me.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. And
Yeah.
uh and I will see you on Instagram.
Thank you, Crystal.
A big thank you to Lindsay from at Redesign the Find. Definitely go check out her beautiful handmade jewelry, her nostalgic trolls, and so much more at Redesign the Find. Thank you guys.